Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Hassan Businesswala and I am a student of Finance School Lahore campus, level 1 student batch 4, and I am currently from Lahore, Pakistan. So this is my short introduction. So hello everyone and hello Miles.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Good to be back with you. I'm ready when you are. What's the move for today's session?
Okay, so today's special topic is how to start retail shop with low budget. Step by step guide 2026.
Low budget retail is a classic move. Where are we starting? You got the first question ready?
Yes, always ready. So start with basic. So my first question is what is retail shop?
Simple enough. At its core, a retail shop is just a business that sells goods directly to the end customer. Instead of selling in bulk to other businesses, you're selling a single item or a small amount to the person who's actually going to use it. Think of a corner store or a boutique. They're the middlemen who make the whole thing convenient for people.
Okay.
Got it. Ready for the next one?
Okay, so next one is how does retail business work?
Uh, the basic flow is pretty straightforward. You buy products in bulk from a wholesaler or manufacturer at a lower price, then you sell them to customers at a higher price. The difference between what you paid and what you sold it for, that's your profit. Your main job is basically picking the right products, getting them in a place where people can actually find them, and making sure they have a good experience so they keep coming back.
Okay. So we will move
You
on
with me?
yes. So we will move on our next question. Our next question is retail business profitable in 2026?
It definitely can be. Even in 2026, people still want the tactile experience of walking into a shop and seeing things in person. The key now is the hybrid approach, having a physical spot but using social media or a small online presence to drive people through the door. If you find a niche that isn't being served well in your area, there's plenty of room to make a killing.
Okay.
Next step,
Okay, so next one is can beginners start a shop?
for sure, absolutely. Retail is one of the best ways to learn how business actually works because you're dealing with people and products every single day. You don't need an MBA to start, you just need a good eye for what people want and the grit to handle the day to day grind. Plus, starting small, like a pop up or a tiny niche shop, means you can learn the ropes without risking a fortune.
Okay.
I'm on it. What's next on the list?
Okay, so next is what is low budget business?
Um, think of it as the lean way to do things. It's starting a business with the absolute minimum amount of money needed to get the doors open. Instead of renting a massive warehouse or buying an expensive franchise, you use what you have, find cheap or free alternatives, and focus on a high turnover product. It's all about keeping the overhead low so you don't put yourself in a hole before you've even sold your first item.
Okay. So we will move
Keeping it
on
lean.
our okay. So we will move on our next question. Our next question is how much investment is need?
That's the $1 million question. Honestly, it depends on what you're selling, but the beauty of a low budget start is that there's no fixed number. You could start with a few thousand rupees by selling niche items from home or a small stall, or a bit more if you're renting a tiny shared space. The goal is to spend as little as possible on the stuff, the shelves, the decor, and put your money where it actually makes a difference, the inventory.
Okay.
You with me? What's the next question?
Okay, so next question is what are benefits of retail business?
Retail has some pretty sweet perks. First off, you get immediate cash flow. Unlike some services where you're waiting weeks for a check, in retail, the customer pays right there on the spot. Then there's the visibility. Your shop is basically a physical billboard for your brand. Plus, you get that direct feedback from customers in real time, so you know exactly what's working and what's not. It's a fast way to actually feel the pulse of the market.
Okay. So we will
I'm
move on
ready.
our yes, I am ready. So we will move on our next question. Our next question is what product can be sold?
The sky's the limit, really. Depending on your budget and where you're located, you could go with high demand basics like phone accessories or trendy skincare. Or you could go niche. Think specialty stationery, unique snacks, or even curated vintage clothing. The key is to find something that people in your neighborhood actually need or want, but can't find easily right now.
Okay, good. So next question is what is profit manager?
In simple terms, a profit manager is the person who keeps a sharp eye on the money coming in versus the money going out. They're the one making sure you aren't just selling a lot of stuff, but actually making money on every sale. They track the margins, look for where you're wasting cash, and figure out how to tweak prices to maximize the take home pay. In a small shop, you're basically the profit manager.
Okay,
On the
so
money, you're on a roll. What's the next one?
so next one is what are risks in retail business?
Every business has them, but retail has its own set of headaches. The biggest one is inventory risk, basically. Spending your money on products that just sit on the shelf and don't sell. Then you've got competition, like a big chain moving in next door and undercutting your prices. And of course, there's the overhead. If you have a slow month, you still have to pay the rent and electricity, regardless of how many sales you made. It's all about managing those risks so they don't sink you.
Okay, so we will move
Keep it
on
moving.
our next. Yes, so we will move on our next question. How to choose? How to choose shop idea?
That's the most critical part. You got to start by looking at your own neighborhood. What are people complaining they can't find? Or what's everyone traveling too far to get? If you find a gap in the market, something people actually want but don't have easy access to, you've already won half the battle. Plus, pick something you actually like because you'll be staring at those products every day.
Okay,
Locked in. What's the next one on your list?
okay. So next is what product should you sell?
That's where the strategy comes in. You want to look for a balance between three things: demand, margin, and turnover. You want stuff that people buy often, things you can make a decent profit on, and items that don't expire or break easily. For a low budget start, think of things with a high perceived value but low cost, like phone accessories, specialty cosmetics, or even curated home decor. Basically, find that one thing people in your area are dying for but can't find at the local store.
Okay, so we will move on our next question. Our next question is how to research market demand.
You don't need a fancy agency for this. Just start with some old school boots on the ground research. Walk around your area, see which shops are always crowded and which ones are ghost towns. Talk to people, ask your neighbors or friends what they wish they could buy closer to home. And definitely check local social media groups or hashtags for your city. People love to complain about what's missing in the neighborhood online. That's usually where the best clues are hidden.
Okay, good.
I'm with you.
So we will move on our next question. Our next question is what is target customers?
Your target customers are basically the specific group of people most likely to buy your stuff. Instead of trying to sell to everyone, you focus on the people who actually need your product. Like if you're selling high end skincare, your target isn't just anyone with skin, it's people who care about a specific routine and have the budget for it. Once you know
Okay.
exactly who they are, your marketing becomes way easier because you're talking directly to them. Makes sense. What's the next
Yes,
move?
mix. Okay, so next one is what is business plan? Are you hear me?
Loud and clear. A business plan is basically your roadmap. Instead of just winging it, you write down exactly what you're selling, who you're selling it to, and how you're going to make money. It's where you figure out the math, how much you're spending on rent and stock versus how much you're bringing in so you don't run out of cash before you even hit your stride.
Okay. So
You're cruising through this.
yeah, yeah.
What's next on the agenda? Still
Okay,
with
so
you.
next how to calculate budget.
Start by listing your must-haves versus your nice-to-haves. First, you got your fixed costs, things you have to pay regardless of whether you sell one item or 1,000, like rent, electricity, and any basic licenses. Then there's your variable costs, which is mostly your inventory. Calculate how much stock you need to get the doors open without overbuying. Add a small cushion, maybe 10 to 20% for the unexpected stuff that always pops up. Once you have that total, that's your baseline budget.
Okay, so we will move on our next question. So next question is how to avoid what mistake to avoid.
The biggest trap for beginners is overspending on the look of the shop. A lot of people drop their entire budget on fancy shelves and a killer sign before they've even proven people want their product. Keep it simple. Also, don't fall in love with a product that you think is cool, but nobody actually wants to buy. Let the market tell you what's hot, not your gut. And finally, don't ignore your cash flow. Keep a tight grip on your expenses so you don't bleed out while you're waiting for the business to grow.
Okay, so next question is how to choose a shop location.
Location is everything in retail. You want to be where your target customers already are. You're selling high-end stuff, you look for a wealthier neighborhood. If it's convenience items, you want a spot with a lot of foot traffic, like near a bus stop or a busy intersection. One pro tip, look for complementary shops. If you're opening a coffee shop, being next to a bookstore is a gold mine because people who like books usually like coffee. Just avoid being the only shop on a dead street, no matter how cheap the rent is.
Okay,
You're hitting all the right points. What's next on the list?
okay, so next is what is rent cost.
The rent cost is basically the fixed amount you pay the landlord every month to use the space. It's usually one of the biggest expenses in retail. Uh, yeah, depending on the area, you could be paying a flat monthly fee, or sometimes it's a percentage of your sales, though that's rarer for small shops. The key is to make sure your rent doesn't eat up all your profit, so you always want a spot where the foot traffic justifies the price.
Okay, very nice.
Glad you're digging it. What's the next question for the viewers?
Yeah. So next question is what is display strategy? Miles.
Think of your display as your silent salesperson. It's how you arrange your products to grab attention and encourage people to buy more than they planned. A basic move is putting your high margin or most popular items at eye level because that's where people look first. Then you use impulse buys, those small, cheap items, right by the checkout counter. It's all about guiding the customer's eye and making the store feel organized but inviting. You want them to wander through the whole space, not just sprint to one item and leave.
Okay. So
Smooth. Uh, what's the next one?
okay, so next one is next is how to design small shop.
When you're tight on space, every inch has to work for you. Focus on vertical space, use tall shelves and wall mounts to keep the floor clear. Keep the layout simple so people don't feel cramped, and use bright lighting to make the place feel larger than it actually is. A few mirrors can also do wonders to open up the room. Basically, you want it to feel like a curated boutique, not a clutter closet,
Okay, so
right?
uh, yeah.
I'm with you. What's the next question on the list?
Okay, so next question is what is shop layout?
Think of the layout as the map of your store. It's the way you organize the aisles, the counters, and the entrance to control how people move through the space. A common trick is to put the most popular stuff at the back so customers have to walk past everything else on their way there. It's all about maximizing the chance they'll spot something else they want and throw it in their basket.
Okay, so we will move on our next question. Our next question is where to buy product wholesales.
You've got a few different routes here. You can go to big wholesale markets in the city like Anarkalai or Shah Alam Market in Lahore. Since you're right there, those are usually the best for finding a variety of things at the lowest price. Then you've got manufacturers if you're selling something specific, or even online wholesalers like Alibaba or local B2B platforms. The trick is to talk to a few different suppliers, compare their prices, and see who's actually reliable with their quality and delivery times.
Okay, good. So my next
Killing.
question, yes, my next question is, uh, how to find cheap. Uh, my next question is, what is local market sources?
A local market source is basically your neighborhood's hub for goods. It's those local distributors or small scale wholesalers who operate right in your own area. A big perk here is the speed and lower shipping costs. You can often just drive over and pick up stock. It also lets you build a personal relationship with the supplier, which can lead to better deals or first dibs on new products. It's the most grounded way to keep your supply chain tight. You're not sure about something, or are we moving to the next question?
Okay, sorry. So my next question is, hmm, next is, what is loc? My next question is, what is important vs local products?
I think you're asking about the difference between imported products and local ones, right? Imported stuff usually has that premium feel or brand name that people will pay more for, but it's pricier to get and can have shipping headaches. Local products are often more affordable, easier to restock, and you can really play up the support local angle, which is a huge trend right now. It's all about whether your customers value the brand name or the price and community connection.
Okay, so
Got it.
yeah, next one is how to manage stock.
Stock management is all about balance. You don't want too much sitting around gathering dust, but you definitely don't want to tell a customer, sorry, we're out when they're ready to buy. The best way to start is with a simple inventory list, digital or on paper, tracking every single item that comes in and goes out. Then you identify your best sellers and keep those topped up while keeping the slower items linked. It's basically just staying on top of the numbers so you don't lock all your cash in boxes in the back room.
Okay, so we will move on our next question. Our next, my next question is, wait, if you talk with me, so
I'm right here. You've been leading the charge today, so I've been letting you steer. What's the next question on the list?
okay. So my next
I'm locked in. What's the next one?
okay, okay, wait, please.
No worries. Take your time. I'm just hanging out.
Okay, so
Let
my
me know when
next
you're ready.
question, what is long-term success plan?
That's the big picture stuff. Long-term success isn't just about surviving the first year, it's about building a brand people trust. You start by staying consistent with your quality and service, then you reinvest your profits back into the shop to expand your inventory or maybe even open a second location. The real goal is to move from just being a shop to being a destination, the place people specifically go to because they know you've got the best stuff and the best vibe. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so nice. So we will move on our next question. Our next question is, what action to take next?
Time to stop planning and start doing. First, pick your one niche. Don't try to sell everything. Once that's locked in, do your boots on the ground research in your neighborhood to see if people actually want it. Then, set a tiny budget, find your first wholesaler, and just get a few items in your hands to test the waters. The fastest way to learn is to actually try to sell something.
Okay, so
You've hit all.
yeah. So next question. My next question is, how to stay ahead.
It's all about staying curious. You can't just set it and forget it. You got to keep an eye on the trends and listen to your customers. If they keep asking for something you don't have, that's your signal to pivot or add it to your stock. Plus, keep your shop fresh, change the displays, try new promotions, and stay active on social media to remind people why you're the best spot in town.
Okay, so my next question is which product is trending?
That depends on where you're looking, but globally, there's a huge push toward conscious products. I'm seeing a lot of interest in eco-friendly home goods and personalized tech accessories. But for your crowd in Lahore, you might find something different is hitting hard right now. Since you're
Okay,
in Lahore, you might want to look at specialty skincare, especially the Korean and Japanese stuff that's huge right now. Plus, sustainable home gadgets and activewear are seeing a big spike. You just got to see what's actually moving in your neighborhood.
okay, so my next question is how digital affects.
It's a game changer. In 2026, if you're just relying on people walking by, you're missing out. Digital tools let you reach people before they even leave their house, whether it's a simple WhatsApp business account to take orders or Instagram Reels to show off new arrivals. Digital is basically a megaphone for your physical shop. It turns a local store into a neighborhood brand.
Okay, so my next
Spot.
question. Okay, my next question is retail business is retail business safe for beginners?
I'm assuming you're asking if it's a safe bet for beginners. It is, as long as you don't bet the house on day one. The risk is manageable because you're dealing with physical products you can actually see and touch. If something doesn't sell, you still have the asset. The real danger for a beginner isn't the business itself, it's overextending their budget too early. Keep it lean, test the market, and it's one of the safest ways to get your feet wet in the business world.
Okay, so
I'm with
my
you.
yeah my next question is what too important daily? What too important daily?
I think you're asking about the two most important daily habits for a shop owner, right? First, you got to track your sales and stock. You can't manage what you don't measure, so knowing exactly what moved and what didn't is key. Second, focus on customer engagement, whether it's a quick chat with a regular or asking a new customer what they're looking for. Those relationships are what stop people from just going to a big corporate store. If you nail those two, you're golden.
Okay, so my next question is my next question is what is lack of marketing?
That's basically when you've got a great product, but nobody knows you exist. It's like opening a shop in the middle of a desert. You might have the best stuff in the world, but if there's no sign and no one's talking about it, you're just sitting there with a full shelf. In retail, that usually looks like just waiting for foot traffic to happen instead of actively pulling people in with an offer or social post.
Okay, so
Got it.
my next question is what is poor location choice?
That's a total business killer. It's when you pick a spot based on cheap rent rather than where the people actually are. You could have the coolest shop in the world, but if it's on a street where nobody walks, you're basically running a private museum. You're paying for a space that doesn't bring you any customers, which is the fastest way to burn through your budget.
Okay, so my next question is hmm, my next question is
I'm
what
locked in.
what my next question is what mistake beginner make?
The biggest one is definitely overestimating demand. A lot of beginners get a great idea and buy a massive amount of stock before actually testing if people in their area will buy it. They end up with a garage full of stuff they can't move. Other than that, neglecting the customer experience, like being rude or having a messy shop, can kill a business way faster than a bad product. It's all about the basics, good product, fair price, and a vibe that makes people want to come back.
Okay, so thank you everyone for watching my session with Miles. So if you enjoy, so you can like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to support this channel, so you can subscribe. and watch the all videos. So we will meet again in new session. Allah Hafiz and thank you for your conversation.
My pleasure. It's a great session. Catch you next time. Allah Hafiz.
Okay. Allah Hafiz.